Each week, we pick one specific Metro Atlanta neighborhood to call out critical changes over the last few years to help you identify as a seller how you might have a particular advantage if you were to sell your home today. This week, we're featuring Knollwood Lakes, which is in Lawrenceville, Gwinnett County. If you are on Highway 316 going east, get off at Sugarloaf Parkway, turn right onto Highway 124 Scenic Highway, then left onto Webb Gin House, and the neighborhood will be on the left if you're not familiar with that area. It's kind of Lawrenceville, kind of Grayson-ish area, although it's a Lawrenceville mailing address. In 2019, there were 24 homes that sold. There's about 400 homes in the neighborhood. What is a typical turnover rate for a neighborhood in Metro Atlanta? It's about 7%. So if you had 400 homes, there should be somewhere around 28 homes selling in that neighborhood every year, or a little bit less. In 2019, 24 homes sold. It took 77 days. Man, can you imagine if it took 77 days to sell a home to now? Sellers would be having conniptions. Average sales price was $366,000, went from a low of $262,000 to a high of $532,000. That's a big spread. Sales price to list price ratio on average 98.8%, which means sellers discounted their house 1.2% to entice a buyer to put it under contract. In 2020, 1 year later, 24 closings, a little under that 7% that we project for neighborhoods. Took 74 days to go under contract, 74. Average sales price $380,000, which is an increase of $14,000 over the prior year. Sales price to list price ratio in 2020, 99.3% sellers discounted their house, less than 1%, 0.7% to be exact. Different story in 2021, 23 homes sold, less than the 24 in each of 2019 and 2020. Took 17 days to sell. Went from 77 days to 74 days to 17 days. That's a big, big difference. Boom. The average home in that neighborhood when it gets listed is off the market in about 2 weeks. Average sales price $450,000, which is an increase of $70,000 over 2020. The low sales price $329,000. The high sales price $575,000. Sales price to list price ratio, and I just think this is so interesting for all of the neighborhood. That's why I continue to include it, was 101.5%, 101.5%, which means the average home seller sold their home for 1.5% more than they listed it for. There are currently 2 homes listed for sale in the neighborhood, which means there is 1.04 months worth of inventory, which means it will take about 30 days for both of those homes that are listed for sale, which range in price from $470,000 to $579,900. It'll take about 30 days for those to sell. 390 homes, 400 homes, let's call it, in the neighborhood. In 2001, the average sales price was, listen to this, it's going to blow your mind, $217,000. $217,000. In 2021, the average sales price $450,000. What does that mean for the equity of those 390 to 400 homeowners? It means that their equity has increased $91 million. That means those 390 to 400 homeowners have $91 million more in equity today than they did in 2011. 10 years ago, $90 million. I'd say that's not a bad payoff.